So, hi guys, I'm going to talk about getting a postdoc position. What are the final points that we can actually keep in mind to get one position positively? So some of the most important criteria that you should remember is number one, uh, your hunt for your postdoc begins from the day you start your PhD. Why I'm saying this is the reason is when you actually doing your or started your PhD, the topic that you actually work on should be interesting enough that there are actually people around the world who actually work on that particular topic, so that you have more chances of landing into a postdoc. Number two, when you actually start applying for postdoc, you need to be very, very patient and need to write a lot of mails. I don't expect that you'll be getting a reply for every mail you write down. So probably the best trick would be actually to write down and send a reminder mail after probably a week or two to the professor whom you are approaching, because the person whom will be applying for your postdoc are mostly professors or associate professors, and they are in a high position, so they don't have that much of time for actually replying to your mails. So that does happen. That's a practical thing. Third point is what you actually write down in your mail is a CV and a good cover letter. There are different formats and different ways of writing down your cover letter. You can definitely get some formats on Google, or I can also share it with you. But your CV plays a very important role. You should always keep this in mind, that the CV that you have should be strong enough. Strong in a sense that your publication should be decent. It's not mandatory that your publication should be top class and it should be published in some very high impact factor journals. It's not mandatory, but it should be decent. Like for example, people are getting a PhD nowadays even without publishing a paper. There are some institutes which does that. Also getting PhD publications in some normal journals which are not in the A-list category. Now that again doesn't count, because you're applying for an international contractual position. Yeah, that's right. Postdoc is an international contractual position, and for them to actually justify that you are perfect for this post, they need some verification, and that your publication is a kind of written proof or valid proof that yes, you are actually valid, because these are all international journals, so you need to remember that. So your CV and plays a very important role. Number 4 would be the references that you are actually giving. When you actually write down a mail to a professor, at some point you'll come to a point that a professor will ask for some references. Now mostly it's 2 or 3 people. One of the person would be definitely your guide. So during your PhD time, it's very important that you maintain a very good rapport with your guide, and also with some people who are actually working in your field, and they should be in some good position, so that actually they can give your reference that yes, this guy can work. So your sincerity, your how you are actually having a relation with your supervisor and the people around you plays again a very important role. Now the point is, how much is the possibility to actually land up with that postdoc position? Well, there are a lot of factors. First, I think first and foremost is your CV, as I already said. The second factor is your luck. Luck is also a very important factor. See, when you actually write down some mails, you have to list down the professors to whom you are writing down. So probably you maintain an Excel sheet and see that you've written to these people, and please make sure that you're writing to people who are actually relevant and working in your field. So you need to do a kind of survey before you actually write down a mail to the professor, because definitely he'll ask you that why you want to work with him. So that's important. Another point that is important is at the time at which you are actually writing down your mail. So please make sure that the mail, if you're writing down in any of the countries, make sure what is the time over there, and try to make sure that you're writing down a mail either in the morning hours, probably before 9, or you're sending the mail after 6, because during the daytime they are mostly busy. So the chances for them to actually read your mail might be lesser. So just to increase your chances, that's very important. So one more important point is your perseverance and patience. As I said, that if you write a mail, a reply is not always a must, and might be there is a vacancy, might be there is not a vacancy. Sometimes they might not be replying you that yes, there is no vacancy, you can't join. But you should keep writing mails. Some people actually keep on writing mails even for a year or two, and then only they can actually land up to postdoc position. So write thousands or hundreds and thousands of mails, and probably you get one positive reply, and that is something which you need. So that's important. One more important point is after your professor replies and he gives you a positive response, it's important that you maintain a relation with your professor by writing mails at some time interval, because actually getting a positive response and joining that institute for your postdoc takes some time, like the formalities, the paperwork. Probably you might be asked to write down a project, or you might not be having a passport, you need to apply for that. So for that actually takes about 4-5 months, sometimes even more than that. So you need to keep in touch with your professor. With project, I mean, see, there are institutes where the professors are having their own project and you can go and directly start working under them. But sometimes even you need to write down a project, and if the professor thinks that yes, this might work, then definitely that's the case. So it's important that when you actually write down a project, it should not be diverting too much from your primary PhD work. So that's important. Now the point is, when exactly do you start hunting for a postdoc position? Well, as far my experience is concerned, the best time would be probably immediately after you submit your thesis. So after your submission, or even after your pre-submission, if you keep on writing mails every day, spend about half an hour to 1 hour and write down some mails to the relevant people, you can definitely look into the positives. Now postdoc mostly it's for about 2 years, sometimes even it's lesser, but 2 years is quite a decent thing. And in case you are applying for a job after your postdoc, 1 year is considered to be something which is of some standard. So below that, that's definitely not considered to be a very good experience. So that's important that applying. So please remember these important points. Also, in case you need some ideas on how to actually write down a cover letter, you can definitely go to the net, or you can leave in the comment section below. I'll definitely try to answer that. Whatever I'm saying is from my own experience, so definitely these are some points which I can actually include here. Whether there are more additional points or not, might be someone else can definitely tell that, some more experienced people. But what I'm telling you is something which is very relevant to my own personal experience. I don't want to hurt any intentions out here, but definitely you need to start. You need to be patient. Start writing mails if you're in a position, and if you have joined your PhD and if you want to do a postdoc abroad, definitely you should start thinking about your work and try to know the people who are doing good work in your own field. So that's very important. So in case you have any suggestions or any additional points to add on, you can definitely put it up in the comment box. And before that, definitely like, comment and subscribe to my channel, My Knowledge Stop. And of course you can like my Facebook page so that you can get the regular updates regarding all the things that I'll be putting up in the near future. Thank you. All the best with your pursuit for postdoc.